Hey everybody, welcome to another review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the brand new album by Converge. This is their brand new record, Love Is Not Enough, and honestly, the thing with Converge is that they're probably one of the most consistent metalcore bands on the scene. They have dropped some of the most loved metalcore records, like Jane Doe, for example, and it's a band that I think has just honestly quite pride themselves with consistency. There's a lot of fun elements, whether that's blending the hardcore punk to some elements of sludge. This record definitely shows, while giving you that very raw, energetic, heavy ass feel this record wants to go for. Now, Love Is Not Enough from the singles really had me hooked. The lead single title track, which is also the opening track, is probably the best song on the record. It is surprisingly a very heavy, fun, just intricate. Lost the words for it because it is just overwhelming with just how stimulatingly heavy this is. It just generally hits you like a truck on this one. It's just such a fun song. There's a lead single. Yeah, I was impressed by this one. Then they had the second single, We Were Never the Same, which it's weird that they would release the opening track and the closing track as singles. Last time I know a band that probably did that was Deftones with Ohms, as they released Genesis and Ohms both as two singles, the opening and closing track. But We Were Never the Same is a very nice song as well. I think this is also a highlight of the record, one of the more standout, fun, punchier ways to end the record off in just such a ferocious, classic sounding Converge way. And then throughout the actual tracks here, you just get a lot of aggressive and harsh sounding Converge that we're normally used to, with some very fun elements thrown into the mix. Gilded Cage is a standout, as this one kind of puts in a bit more of the aggressive, clean vocals, which do sound a bit weird at times. As that's something I've kind of noticed. It's just some of the clean vocals here aren't necessarily the band's best. I just think, personally, while I think the male vocalist is insane for this group, it's not that great on the verses, but I still think the song is sick as hell, so it doesn't really take away too much for me. But I do think Gilded Cage is probably one of the weaker tracks, but Make Me Forget You is one of the stronger tracks, so while you might dabble in some of the slightly weaker stuff here, not saying it's like weak compared to most of the other stuff, but on the record at least, some of the slightly weaker stuff is just, it's because it's overshadowed by the actual real good shit, and the last two songs are just insane, honestly. There's a lot of cool moments I like. You get a little interlude in this one called Beyond Repair, before you go into Monomuck, which is another fantastic track I really enjoy. And yeah, I just think that personally, while it doesn't have too much versatility or variety, it keeps this kind of fun energy going, in the same way that Knocked Loose would with their latest record, You Won't Go Before You're Supposed To. If you're thinking of kind of a hardcore punk album that just throws these all crazy ideas, well, I do personally prefer Knocked Loose latest record to this one, just because I like the variety of instrumentation, such as the tempo change with the drums, go for a complete different groove, and so on and so forth. And I think Converge needed a bit more variety with this one, because some of the tracks blend together and feel the same. You're still getting a really well crafted record with a lot of great ideas still. I still think vocally the performance is fantastic from an unclean perspective, and instrumentally this album, just while it does do some similar stuff here and there, it's still kick-ass. The energy, the excitement of this one, it just keeps throughout, and I think Converge is just a band that just, even at the lowest, I think they'll still be really good. And I'm not going to say Love Is Not Enough is even one of their weakest. From what I've heard of Converge, this isn't even the worst, and I generally think this is absolutely really good album as well. So definitely one of my favourite albums of the year. I think this is not a surprise though. I was expecting Converge to be a very insanely good listen, and as of what I've seen from reviews and everything, high praise for this one. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. It's very good, so I hope you enjoy. Thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next video.